Changing the oil. You might want to take your car to Jiffy Lube, or you might have always wondered, how do I do it on my own? I wonder if it's simple. Well, today I'm going to show you how simple it is and how quickly you can do it. Here are the materials you're going to need. You're going to need a 17mm socket. You're going to need a wrench. You're going to need a Fram PH7317, a glove, a rag that you can trash, an oil pan, a funnel, Castrol GTX 5W20. The last thing you're going to need is, of course, some chocks for your car. But you might already have them because maybe you've been working on your car in the past. One other optional material that you're going to want to have is a drop cloth. I use this old twister mat so as my drop cloth because you lay down the oil pan, and if you have any splatters, this will come in handy. Underneath your car, you're going to look and you're going to see right here is the oil pan. You're going to see a little nut right here, right? So this is where your oil is going to come out. So you want to position that so the drop cloth is right underneath it. Your second step is going to be to take this oil catcher kind of, and put it right under here. Okay, then you're going to take your glove, put it on, and making sure that your oil is a little bit warm, so go for a little test drive up the road and back, get it lefty-loosey, and crack the oil right there, okay? And then with your glove hand, you're going to want to take it like this, unloosen it, and boom. Now your oil is leaking out of your car, okay? Good. Now, let that leak. To get all the oil out of your car, if you think about it, your oil is going all the way through your car in tubes. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop your hood, and you're going to want to unscrew that oil cap so that there's not a vacuum seal. Right over here, there should be a cap. You should see right there, it says 5W20. So take that out, and you'll hear a little bit more come out. Warning, one of the most important things, get all the dirt on there. So you see that little dirt? Get it away from the entrance to your oil. You want to make sure that no dirt gets in there. If you get dirt in there, you're screwed. Oh, also just have a light handy. You probably should have that at your house. Now, the oil filter is the next part that we're going to work on. And the oil filter is where the oil comes into the filter, gets cleaned, and goes back into the engine. Where you're going to find this oil filter. So, go in to the passenger side wheel. You're going to go right in here. So reach your hand in right here. And a little bit to your right. You're going to find an oil filter, and it'll feel like the oil filter over there, right? With the rough on the outside. What you're going to do is you're going to unscrew it. There's oil in the oil filter, if you think about it, and you're going to hear it drip out. So I'm unscrewing it right now. You'll see more oil drip out. There is your oil filter, okay? Into your pan. You have your new oil filter. Good. Now take a little bit of your oil and pour it right on the oil filter, okay? Just a little bit. And then wipe it around the seal. Now, you're going to want to put it back. Find the little screws pretty much until it's pretty tight. So it's going to be a lot easier to tighten when you have that fresh oil. It's going to be a lot harder when you try to take it off the next time because you're not going to have that fresh oil. It's going to be a lot more sticky. Okay, now the oil is drained out. There's going to be a little washer, right? And make sure it's the same way. Don't flip it around because there's a certain way that it seals. Put the screw back on. Okay, so right here, wipe around. There is your bolt, right? And up here, you might be able to see oil filter. So this is another way to get to it if you can't reach it using the wheel technique. Okay, so tighten that down. So pretty well. Don't yank on it. Right. One of the things that you should do when you're wrapping up the project is have a little notebook, okay? Put the date, put the odometer, the oil filter, the oil. So I'm going to be putting in about 4.5 quarts. Take it slow when you get about 4 quarts. Vehicles have different amounts of oil. You want to really read the oil section, owner's manual, right? So you want to, they will tell you what type of oil to use. They'll tell you how much to put in, and they'll tell you any other pieces of useful information. Okay? So take your funnel off, clean off your cap, so tighten that back on, right? Good. So write down what I told you earlier. Now you're finished. So there's a couple things to conclude about your oil. What you want to do is take it for a test drive and around the block a little bit, like just a little ways, so you can get your oil filtered through your system. Then you're going to want to come back and test it with your oil stick one more time. You probably know where your oil stick is. You'll see it in there right next to the oil cap. The other thing is that if your engine starts smoking or blows up when you're driving, you know that you didn't do it right. So just, make sure that doesn't happen, because it wouldn't be very good for you. Be careful with your oil and how you dispose of it. I take it to our local dump. So I hope you enjoyed this Desert Mechanics production, and I hope you can start changing your oil in your car more, because it can save you money, it's easy,